/ This is a comment / asterisk multiline comment */ for and # include less than cstd greater than / tells the compiler iostream library, which contains the function cout # include less than iostream greater than / allows us to use vectors # include less than vector greater than / allows us to use strings # include less than string greater than / allow us to work with files # include less than fstream greater than / allows functions in the std namespace to be used without their prefix / std scope resolution operator cout becomes cout using namespace std / functions. The function has return type, function name and attributes with their data types. The attribute data types must match the value passed in. This data is passed by value. You can define default values to attributes as long as they come last. This is known as a function prototype. Integer add numbers opening parenthesis integer first number, comma integer second number equals 0 closing parenthesis opening brace integer combined value equals first number plus second number semicolon return combined value semicolon closing brace / An overloaded function has the same name but different attributes. Integer add numbers opening parenthesis integer first number, comma integer second number, comma integer third number closing parenthesis opening brace return first number plus second number plus third number semicolon closing brace / A recursive function is one that calls itself integer get factorial opening parenthesis integer number closing parenthesis opening brace integer sum semicolon if opening parenthesis number is equal to 1 closing parenthesis sum equals 1 semicolon else sum equals opening parenthesis get factorial opening parenthesis number minus 1 closing parenthesis times number closing parenthesis semicolon return sum semicolon / get factorial opening parenthesis 2 closing parenthesis returns 2 times 3 get factorial opening parenthesis 1 closing parenthesis returns 1 times 2. This value goes above 2 times 3 equals 6 closing brace / doesn't have a return type, so use void. Since I'm getting a pointer, use integer asterisk refer to the referenced variable with asterisk age. Void make me young opening parenthesis integer asterisk age closing parenthesis opening brace cout insertion operator double quotes I used to be double quotes insertion operator dereference age insertion operator end L semicolon dereference age equals 21 semicolon closing brace / A function that receives a reference can manipulate the value globally. Void act your age opening parenthesis integer reference age closing parenthesis opening brace age equals 39 semicolon closing brace / end of functions / classes start with the name class animal opening brace / private variables are only available to methods in the class private colon integer height semicolon integer weight semicolon semicolon string name semicolon slash slash. A static variable shares the same value with every object in the class. Static integer number of animals semicolon slash slash. Public variables can be accessed by anything with access to the object. Public colon integer get height opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace return height semicolon closing brace integer get weight opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace return weight semicolon closing brace string get name opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace return name semicolon closing brace void set height opening parenthesis integer centimeter closing parenthesis opening brace height equals centimeter semicolon closing brace void set weight opening parenthesis integer kilogram closing parenthesis opening brace weight equals kilogram semicolon closing brace void set name opening parenthesis string dog name closing parenthesis opening brace name equals dog name semicolon closing brace slash slash declared as a prototype void set wall opening parenthesis integer comma string closing parenthesis semicolon slash slash. Declare the constructor animal opening parenthesis integer comma string closing parenthesis semicolon slash slash. Declare the deconstructor tilde animal opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon slash slash. An overloaded constructor called when no data is passed animal opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon slash slash. Protected members are available to members of the same class and subclasses. Static methods and attached to an object and can only access static member variables. Static integer get a number of animals opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace return number of animals semicolon closing brace slash slash. This method will be overwritten in dog void to string opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon closing brace semicolon integer animal scope resolution operator number of animals equals 0 semicolon slash slash. Define the prototype method set all void animal scope resolution operator set all opening parenthesis integer height comma integer weight comma string name closing parenthesis opening brace slash slash. This is used to refer to an object created of this class type. This arrow height equals height semicolon. This arrow weight equals weight semicolon. This arrow name equals name semicolon. Animal scope resolution operator number of animals plus 1 semicolon closing brace slash slash. A constructor is called when an object is created. Animal scope resolution operator animal opening parenthesis integer height comma integer weight comma string name closing parenthesis opening brace. This arrow height equals height semicolon. This arrow weight equals weight semicolon. This arrow name equals name semicolon closing brace slash slash. The destructor is called when an object is destroyed. Animal scope resolution operator tilde animal opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace see out insertion operator double quotes animal double quotes insertion operator. This arrow name insertion operator double quotes destroyed double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace slash slash. Constructor called when no attributes are passed. Animal scope resolution operator animal opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace number of animals plus 1 semicolon closing brace slash slash. This method prints object in photo screen and will be overwritten void animal scope resolution operator to string opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace out insertion operator. This arrow name insertion operator double quotes is double quotes insertion operator. This arrow height insertion operator double quotes centimeters tall and double quotes insertion operator. This arrow weight insertion operator double quotes kilograms in weight double quotes insertion operator and L semicolon closing brace slash slash. We can inherit the variables and methods of other classes. Class dog colon public animal opening brace private colon string sound equals double quotes woof double quotes semicolon public colon void get sound opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace out insertion operator sound insertion operator and L semicolon closing brace slash slash. Declare the constructor dog opening parenthesis integer comma string closing parenthesis semicolon slash slash. Declare the default constructor and call the default superclass constructor dog opening parenthesis closing parenthesis colon animal opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace closing brace semicolon slash slash. Overwrite a string void to string opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon closing brace semicolon slash slash. Dog constructor passes the right attributes to the superclass constructor and then handles the attribute bark that remains. Dog scope resolution operator dog opening parenthesis integer height comma integer weight comma string name comma string bark closing parenthesis colon animal opening parenthesis height comma weight comma name closing parenthesis opening brace. This arrow sound equals bark semicolon closing brace slash slash to string method overwritten void dog scope resolution operator to string opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace slash slash. Because the attributes were private in animal, they must be retrieved by called the get method see out insertion operator. This arrow get name opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes is double quotes insertion operator. This arrow get height opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes centimeters tall and double quotes insertion operator. This arrow get weight opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes kilograms in weight and says double quotes insertion operator. This arrow sound insertion operator and L semicolon closing brace slash slash end of classes slash slash. This is where execution begins. Attributes can be sent to main integer main opening parenthesis closing parenthesis opening brace slash slash. See out outputs text and a carriage return with and else statements must end with a semicolon. Strings must be surrounded by double quotes insertion operator sends the text via standard output to the screen. See out insertion operator double quotes hello internet double quotes insertion operator and L semicolon slash slash. Variables slash data types. Variables start with a letter and can contain letters, numbers and underscore. They are case sensitive. A value that won't change is a constant. Starts with const and it should be uppercase. Const double pi equals 3.141592653 semicolon slash slash. Chars can contain one character that are surrounded with single quotes and is 1 bit in size. Char migrate equals single quote a single quote semicolon slash slash. Booleans have the value of true/1 or false slash 0, bool is happy equals true semicolon slash integers are whole numbers integer my age equals 39 semicolon slash floats are floating point numbers accurate to about 6 decimals float favorite number equals 3.141592 semicolon slash doubles are floating point numbers accurate to about 15 digits double other favorite number equals 1.6180339887 semicolon slash you can output a variable value like this cout insertion operator double quotes favorite number double quotes insertion operator favorite number insertion operator and L semicolon slash other types include short integer, at least 16 bits long integer, at least 32 bits long integer, at least 64 bits unsigned integer, same size as signed version long double, not less than double slash you can get the number of bits for a data type with size of cout insertion operator double quotes size of integer double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis my age closing parenthesis insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes size of char double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis my grade closing parenthesis insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes size of bool double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis is happy closing parenthesis insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes size of float double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis favorite number closing parenthesis insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes size of double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis other favorite number closing parenthesis insertion operator and L semicolon integer largest integer equals 2,147,483,647 semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes largest integer double quotes insertion operator largest integer insertion operator and L semicolon slash arithmetic the arithmetic operators are plus, minus, times, divided by, modulus, plus 1, minus 1 cout insertion operator double quotes 5 plus 2 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 plus 2 insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes 5 minus 2 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 minus 2 insertion operator n L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes 5 times 2 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 times 2 insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes 5 divided by 2 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 divided by 2 insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes 5 modulus 2 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 modulus 2 insertion operator and L semicolon integer 5 equals 5 semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes 5 plus 1 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 plus 1 insertion operator and L semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes plus 1 5 equals double quotes insertion operator plus 1 5 insertion operator operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes 5 minus 1 equals double quotes insertion operator 5 minus 1 insertion operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes minus 1 5 equals double quotes insertion operator minus 1 5 insertion operator end L semicolon / shortened assignment operators A plus equals B is equal to A equals A plus B. There is also minus equals, times equals, divided by equals, modulus equals / order of operations states multiplication and division is performed before addition and subtraction. C out insertion operator double quotes 1 plus 2 minus 3 times 2 equals double quotes insertion operator 1 plus 2 minus 3 times 2 insertion operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes opening parenthesis 1 plus 2 minus 3 closing parenthesis times 2 equals double quotes insertion operator opening parenthesis 1 plus 2 minus 3 closing parenthesis times 2 insertion operator end L semicolon / casting. You convert from one data type to another by casting char, integer, float, double C out insertion operator double quotes 4 divided by 5 equals double quotes insertion operator 4 divided by 5 insertion operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes 4 divided by 5 equals double quotes insertion operator opening parenthesis float closing parenthesis 4 divided by 5 insertion operator end L semicolon / if statement executes different code depending upon a condition. Comparison operators include is equal to, is not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to. Less than or equal to will return true, 1, if the comparison is true, or false, 0. Logical operators include and, or, is not used to test 2 or more conditionals. Integer age equals 70 semicolon integer age at last exam equals 16 semicolon bool is not intoxicated equals true semicolon if opening parenthesis age greater than or equal to 1 closing parenthesis and opening parenthesis age less than 16 closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes. You can't drive double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace else if opening parenthesis is not intoxicated closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes. You can't drive double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace else if opening parenthesis age greater than or equal to 80 and opening parenthesis age greater than 100 closing parenthesis or opening parenthesis age minus age at last exam closing parenthesis greater than 5 closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes. You can't drive double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace else opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes. You can drive double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace / switch statement. Switch is used when you have a limited number of possible options. Integer greeting option equals 2 semicolon switch opening parenthesis greeting option closing parenthesis opening brace case 1 colon see out insertion operator double quotes budget double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon break semicolon case 2 colon see out insertion operator double quotes holder double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon break semicolon case 3 colon see out insertion operator double quotes hello double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon break semicolon default colon see out insertion operator double quotes hello double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace slash ternary operator performs an assignment based on a condition variable equals opening parenthesis condition closing parenthesis question mark if true colon if false integer largest number equals opening parenthesis 5 greater than 2 closing parenthesis question mark 5 colon 2 semicolon see out insertion operator double quotes the biggest number is double quotes insertion operator largest number insertion operator end L semicolon slash arrays store multiple values of the same type. You must provide a data type and the size of the array integer. My favorite numbers opening bracket 5 closing bracket semicolon slash you can declare and add values in one step integer bad numbers opening bracket 5 closing bracket equals opening brace 4, 13, 14, 24, 34 closing brace semicolon slash the first item in the array has the label index of 0 see out insertion operator double quotes bad number 1 colon double quotes insertion operator bad numbers opening bracket 0 closing bracket insertion operator end L semicolon slash you can create multi-dimensional arrays char my name opening bracket 5 closing bracket opening bracket 5 closing bracket equals opening brace single quote D single quote comma single quote E single quote comma single quote R single quote comma single quote E single quote comma single quote K single quote closing brace comma opening brace single quote B single quote comma single quote A single quote comma single quote N single quote comma single quote A single quote comma single quote S single quote closing brace semicolon see out insertion operator double quotes second letter in second array colon double quotes insertion operator my name opening bracket 1 closing bracket opening bracket 1 closing bracket insertion operator end L semicolon slash you can change a value in an array using its index my name opening bracket 0 closing bracket opening bracket 2 closing bracket equals single quote E single quote semicolon see out insertion operator double quotes new value double quotes insertion operator my name opening bracket 0 closing bracket opening bracket 2 closing bracket insertion operator end L semicolon slash for loop continues to execute code as long as a condition is true for opening parenthesis integer I equals 1 semicolon I less than or equal to 10 semicolon I plus 1 closing parenthesis opening brace see out insertion operator I insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace slash you can also cycle through an array by nesting for loops for opening parenthesis integer j equals 0 semicolon semicolon j less than 5 semicolon j plus 1 closing parenthesis opening brace for opening parenthesis integer k equals 0 semicolon k less than 5 semicolon k plus 1 closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator my name opening bracket j closing bracket opening bracket k closing bracket semicolon closing brace C out insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace / while loop use a while loop when you don't know ahead of time when a loop will end generate a random number between 1 and 100 integer random number equals opening parenthesis rand opening parenthesis closing parenthesis modulus 100 closing parenthesis plus 1 semicolon while opening parenthesis rand number is not equal to 100 closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator and number insertion operator double quotes comma double quotes semicolon / used to get you out of the loop rand number equals opening parenthesis rand opening parenthesis closing parenthesis modulus 100 closing parenthesis plus 1 semicolon closing brace C out insertion operator end L semicolon / you can do the same as the for loop like this create an index to iterate outside the while loop integer index equals 1 semicolon while opening parenthesis index less than or equal to 10 closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator index insertion operator end L semicolon / increment inside the loop index plus 1 semicolon closing brace / do while loop used when you want to execute what is in the loop at least once / used to store a series of characters string number guessed semicolon integer number guessed equals 0 semicolon do opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes guessed between 1 and 10 colon double quotes semicolon / allows for user input past the source and destination of the input get line opening parenthesis C in comma number guessed closing parenthesis semicolon / sto I converts the string into an integer / asterisk use this version if you don't have C++ 11 integer number guessed equals atoi opening parenthesis number guessed dot C underscore str opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon asterisk / integer number guessed equals stoi opening parenthesis number guessed closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator integer number guessed insertion operator end L semicolon / we'll continue looping until the number entered is 4 closing brace while opening parenthesis integer number guessed is not equal to 4 closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes U1 double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon / strings the string library class provides a string object you must always surround strings with double quotes and like the char arrays in C, the string object automatically resizes the C way of making a string char happy array opening bracket 6 closing bracket equals opening brace single quote H single quote comma single quote A single quote comma single quote P single quote comma single quote P single quote comma single quote Y single quote comma single quote \0 single quote closing brace semicolon / the C++ way string birthday string equals double quotes birthday double quotes semicolon / you can combine / concatenate strings with plus C out insertion operator happy array plus birthday string insertion operator end L semicolon string your name name semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes what is your name double quotes semicolon get line opening parenthesis cin comma your name closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes hello double quotes insertion operator your name insertion operator end L semicolon Euler's constant equals 0.5772 semicolon string Euler guess semicolon Euler guess double semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes what is Euler's constant double quotes semicolon get line opening parenthesis cin comma Euler guess closing parenthesis semicolon / converts a string into a double stof opening parenthesis closing parenthesis for floats / asterisk use this version if you don't have C++11. Euler guess double equals ATOF opening parenthesis Euler guess dot C underscore STR opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon asterisk / Euler guess double equals STOD opening parenthesis Euler guess closing parenthesis semicolon if opening parenthesis Euler guess double is equal to Euler's constant closing parenthesis opening brace cout insertion operator double quotes you are right double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace else opening brace cout insertion operator double quotes you are wrong double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace / size returns the number of characters cout insertion operator double quotes size of string double quotes insertion operator Euler guess dot size opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / empty tells you if string is empty or not cout insertion operator double quotes is string empty double quotes insertion operator Euler guess dot empty opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / append add strings together cout insertion operator Euler guess dot append opening parenthesis double quotes was your guess double quotes closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon string dog string equals double quotes dog double quotes semicolon string cat string equals double quotes cat double quotes semicolon / compare returns a 0 for a match 1 if less than -1 if greater than cout insertion operator dog string dot compare opening parenthesis cat string closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon cout insertion operator dog string dot compare opening parenthesis dog string closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon cout insertion operator cat string dot compare opening parenthesis dog string closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / assign copies a value to another string whole name equals your name dot assign opening parenthesis your name closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator whole name insertion operator end L semicolon / you can get a substring as well by defining the starting index and the number of characters to copy string first name equals whole name dot assign opening parenthesis whole name comma 0 comma 5 closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator first name insertion operator end L semicolon / find returns the index for the string you're searching for starting from the index defined integer last name index equals your name dot find opening parenthesis double quotes Banas double quotes comma 0 closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes index for last name double quotes insertion operator last name index insertion operator end L semicolon / insert places a string in the index defined your name dot insert opening parenthesis 5 comma double quotes just in double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator your name insertion operator end L semicolon / arrays will delete 6 characters starting at index 7 your name dot arrays opening parenthesis 6 comma 7 closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator your name insertion operator end L semicolon / replace 5 characters starting at index 6 with the string Maximus your name dot replace opening parenthesis 6 comma 5 comma double quotes Maximus double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator your name insertion operator end L semicolon / vectors are like arrays, but their size can change vector less than integer greater than lottery number vector opening parenthesis 10 closing parenthesis semicolon integer lottery number array opening bracket 5 closing bracket equals opening brace 4, comma 13, comma 14, comma 24, comma 34 closing brace semicolon / add the array to the vector starting at the beginning of the vector lottery number vector dot insert opening parenthesis lottery number vector dot begin opening parenthesis closing parenthesis comma lottery number array comma lottery number array plus 3 closing parenthesis semicolon / insert a value into the 5th index lottery number vector dot insert opening parenthesis lottery number vector dot begin opening parenthesis closing parenthesis plus 5 comma 44 closing parenthesis semicolon / gets the value in the specified index C out insertion operator double quotes value in 5 double quotes insertion operator lottery number vector dot at opening parenthesis 5 closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / push underscore back adds a value at the end of a vector lottery number vector dot push underscore back opening parenthesis 64 closing parenthesis semicolon / back gets the value in the final index C out insertion operator double quotes final value double quotes insertion operator lottery number vector dot back opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / pop underscore back removes the final element lottery number vector dot pop underscore back opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon / front returns the first element C out insertion operator double quotes first element double quotes insertion operator lottery number vector dot front opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / back returns the last element C out insertion operator double quotes last element double quotes insertion operator lottery number vector dot back opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon / empty tells you if the vector is empty C out insertion operator double quotes vector empty double quotes insertion operator lottery number vector dot empty opening parenthesis closing parenthesis parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash size returns the total number of elements C out insertion operator double quotes number of vector elements double quotes insertion operator lottery number vector dot size opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash functions allow you to reuse and better organize your code C out insertion operator add numbers opening parenthesis 1 closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash you can't access values created in functions out of scope. C out insertion operator combine value insertion operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator add numbers opening parenthesis 1, 5, 6 closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes the factorial of 3 is double quotes insertion operator get factorial opening parenthesis 3 closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash file input slash output we can read and write to files using text or machine readable binary string Steve quote equals double quotes a day without sunshine is like, you know, night double quotes semicolon slash slash create an output file stream and if the file doesn't exist create it OF stream writer opening parenthesis double quotes Steve quote dot text double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon slash slash verify that the file stream object was created if opening parenthesis is not writer closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes error opening file double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash signal that an error occurred return -1 semicolon closing brace else opening brace slash slash write the text to the file writer insertion operator Steve quote insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash close the file writer dot close opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon closing brace slash slash open a stream to append to what's there with iOS scope resolution operator ape iOS scope resolution operator binary treat the file as binary iOS scope resolution operator in open a file to read input iOS scope resolution operator trunk default iOS scope resolution operator out open a file to write output OF stream writer to opening parenthesis double quotes Steve quote dot text double quotes comma iOS scope resolution operator a closing parenthesis semicolon if opening parenthesis is not writer to closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes error opening file double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon slash slash signal that an error occurred return -1 semicolon closing brace else opening brace writer to insertion operator double quotes backslash n Steve Martin double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon writer to dot close opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon closing brace child letter semicolon slash slash read characters from a file using an input file stream if stream reader opening parenthesis double quotes Steve quote dot text double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon if opening parenthesis is not reader closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator double quotes error opening file double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon return -1 semicolon closing brace else opening brace slash slash read each character from the stream until end of file for opening parenthesis integer equals 0 semicolon is not reader dot end of file opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon I plus 1 closing parenthesis opening brace slash get the next letter and output it reader dot get opening parenthesis letter closing parenthesis semicolon C out insertion operator letter semicolon closing brace C out insertion operator end L semicolon reader dot close opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon closing brace slash exception handling. You can be prepared for potential problems with exception handling. Integer number equals 0 semicolon try opening brace if opening parenthesis number is not equal to 0 closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator 2 divided by number insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace else throw opening parenthesis number closing parenthesis semicolon closing brace catch opening parenthesis integer number closing parenthesis opening brace C out insertion operator number insertion operator double quotes is not valid input double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon closing brace slash pointers. When data is stored, it is stored in an appropriately sized box based on its data type. Integer my age equals 39 semicolon char my grade equals single quote a single quote semicolon C out insertion operator double quote size of integer double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis my age closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes size of char double quotes insertion operator size of opening parenthesis my grade closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon slash. You can reference the box memory address where data is stored with the ampersand reference operator C out insertion operator double quotes my age is located at double quotes insertion operator reference my age insertion operator end L semicolon slash. A pointer can store a memory address. The data type must be the same as the data referenced and it is followed by asterisk integer asterisk age pointer equals reference my age semicolon slash. You can access the memory address and the data C out insertion operator double quotes address of pointer double quotes insertion operator age pointer insertion operator end L semicolon slash asterisk is the dereference or indirection operator C out insertion operator double quotes data at memory address double quotes insertion operator dereference age pointer insertion operator end L semicolon integer bad numbers opening bracket 5 closing bracket equals opening brace 4, 13, 14, 24, 34 closing brace semicolon integer asterisk number array pointer equals bad numbers semicolon slash. You can increment through an array using a pointer with +1 or -1 C out insertion operator double quotes address double quotes insertion operator number array pointer insertion operator double quotes value double quotes insertion operator dereference number array pointer insertion operator end L semicolon number array pointer +1 semicolon C out insertion operator double quotes address double quotes insertion operator number array pointer insertion operator double quotes value double quotes insertion operator dereference number array pointer insertion operator end L semicolon slash. An array name is just a pointer to to the array cout insertion operator double quotes address double quotes insertion operator bad numbers insertion operator double quotes value double quotes insertion operator dereference bad numbers insertion operator end L semicolon / when you pass a variable to a function you are passing the value. When you pass a pointer to a function you are passing a reference that can be changed. Make me young opening parenthesis reference my age closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes I'm double quotes insertion operator my age insertion operator double quotes years old now double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon / ampersand denotes that ageref will be a reference to the assigned variable integer reference ageref equals my age semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes ageref colon double quotes insertion operator ageref insertion operator end L semicolon / it can manipulate the other variables data ageref +1 semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes my age colon double quotes insertion operator my age insertion operator end L semicolon / you can pass the reference to a function at your age opening parenthesis ageref closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator double quotes my age colon double quotes insertion operator my age insertion operator end L semicolon / when deciding on whether to use pointers or references use pointers if you don't want to initialize a declaration, or if you need to assign another variable otherwise use a reference / classes and objects. Classes are the blueprints for modeling real-world objects. Real-world objects have attributes. Classes have members / variables. Real-world objects have abilities. Classes have methods / functions. Classes believe in hiding data, encapsulation, from outside code / declare animal type object animal Fred semicolon / set the values for the animal Fred dot set height opening parenthesis 33 closing parenthesis semicolon Fred dot set weight opening parenthesis 10 closing parenthesis semicolon Fred dot set name opening parenthesis double quotes Fred double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon / get the values for the animal cout insertion operator Fred dot get name opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes is double quotes insertion operator Fred dot get height opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes centimeters tall and double quotes insertion operator Fred dot get weight opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes kilograms and weight double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon Fred dot set wall opening parenthesis 34, 12, double quotes Fred double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator Fred dot get name opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes is double quotes insertion operator Fred dot get height opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes centimeters tall and double quotes insertion operator Fred dot get weight opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes kilograms and weight double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon / creating an object using the constructor animal Tom opening parenthesis 36, 15, comma double quotes Tom double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon cout insertion operator Tom dot get name opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes is double quotes insertion operator Tom dot get height opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes centimeters tall and double quotes insertion operator Tom dot get weight opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator double quotes kilograms and weight double quotes insertion operator end L semicolon / demonstrate the inheriting class dog spot opening parenthesis 38, comma 16, comma double quotes spot double quotes, comma double quotes woof double quotes closing parenthesis semicolon / static methods are called by using the class name and the scope operator cout insertion operator double quotes number of animals double quotes insertion operator animal scope resolution operator get number of animals opening parenthesis closing parenthesis insertion operator end L semicolon spot dot get sound opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon / test the toString method that will be overwritten Tom dot toString opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon spot dot toString opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon / we can call the superclass version of a method with the class name and the scope operator spot dot animal scope resolution operator toString opening parenthesis closing parenthesis semicolon / when a function finishes it must return an integer value 0 means that the function ended with success return 0 semicolon closing brace.